Hi, I'm Richard Walters, CTO of saasid. I'm here to talk to you today about Bring Your Own Device, or BYOD, and why you really need to just get over it. So the world has changed. We are now living in a world where cloud applications are everywhere. People are using social media more and more, with something like 1 in 11 adults globally logging into Facebook every day now. And of course, the plethora of mobile devices that we all use. Unfortunately, information security hasn't really moved on and hasn't really kept pace. And so we're trying to still deliver security in that environment using very traditional solutions such as proxies and VPNs, next generation firewalls, endpoint agents, software agents sitting out on the endpoint devices, as well as application layer security. Of course, in a cloud-based world, the application isn't even yours. So how can you possibly put security into the application layer? And of course, if you can't cope with Bring Your Own Device, how do you cope with the successor to that, which is really all around corporate-owned but personally enabled devices? So the idea that you have personal data on a device that's owned by the company or the employer. And there are already cases being brought now, both in the UK courts and courts in North America, around whose data is it anyway. So is it my LinkedIn data, if I'm using my personal LinkedIn account, even though I may be using that partially for work purposes. Pictures that I might take on devices, clearly I've taken the picture, so normally I would therefore own the copyright. So certainly that's another reason for addressing security around social mobile cloud in a different way. Of course, a lot of companies now are seeing business managers, heads of department going out and consuming cloud-based applications purely with a company credit card. So some of the examples that we've seen just in the last 12 months or so, a large London law firm, all of the partners had decided to go out and buy iPads and apparently had told the IT director, we're moving to Google Apps soon. HR in a major insurance company had gone out and purchased a complete suite of 4 applications without any involvement of the IT department whatsoever. At an international bank, there'd been an internal audit carried out, and they'd actually found 12 previously unknown instances of Salesforce within the organisation. And one pharmaceutical company based in the UK had bought 10,000 iPads, and after 6 months still hadn't rolled them out. Of course, compliance is not optional. Regardless of whether you're using cloud-based applications, whether you've got a mobile workforce that's using potentially their own personal devices, whilst you can outsource data and to an extent control, you can certainly not outsource accountability, as the Information Commissioner reminded those of us in the UK quite recently. When you move to the cloud and you consume a SaaS-based application, quite often you are forced to downgrade to the one-size-fits-all security model that the vendor provides. Very often from those even major SaaS vendors you get very limited logging, very limited monitoring and alerting to what users are doing within those applications, how they're interacting with the application and associated data. And if you are unfortunate enough to suffer an incident, then the level of forensics that you can obtain is even more limited. So just on forensics and e-discovery, the cloud is highly dynamic. The file systems associated with cloud providers are highly abstract. In fact, you may not even know geographically, physically where your data resides. And even if you know where it resides at one point in time, it will quite often move around over time. Most of us, of course, have multiple devices today. We may use a company-provided laptop or desktop PC, but we'll also certainly have a smartphone or a tablet of some sort. So even if you can capture the activity in the browser on one device, then you're getting an incomplete picture because you won't know what necessarily that user's been up to on the other devices that they use regularly or have access to. So here's the warning, here's a radical idea incoming. Why don't we secure the browser? If we secure the browser, then the device becomes pretty much irrelevant. The browser really is the new endpoint. It is the common point of access, no matter what the device is, to web or cloud-based applications. Critically, if you're in the browser, you are not only close to the user, but you're between the user and that application or associated data. So you can see everything the user sees and everything the user does, and you're not affected by encryption. And because of where you are, you can capture a comprehensive audit trail of everything that goes on in the cloud on mobile devices or on social media sites.